Hoi An, the old city on the Tubon River. It's still night when the fishermen arrive. By daybreak, they are already preparing their nets for the next catch. Sometimes they catch an old vase. Many an ancient junk has run aground in the estuary. Hoi An was once an important trading centre. The day starts every morning at 5 in this ancient port, where trading vessels from all over the world once lay at anchor. The fish market is where the day's business begins. The fish market is firmly in women's hands. Supplies to the entire hinterland are carried by river. Ku Gia Lin comes here every morning to buy the fish for the family-run shop. She lives with her family in the middle of the small, historic old quarter. Hoi An lies in central Vietnam, 4 kilometers from the sea. Its origins go back 2,000 years. The fishermen know that Mr. Tung will buy the old jetsam they fish up. He comes from a rich family of seafaring merchants from China. Diep Gia Tung lives in his house with artifacts dating from the great days of Hoi An. Hoi An used to be a station on the Silk Road of the sea. Sailing ships from Arabia would anchor here, from India, from the East Indies, from China, from Japan. The merchants dealt not only in silk, but also in paper, in lacquer, and above all, porcelain. The city flourished in particular from the 17th century to the 19th, when Dutch and Portuguese vessels also put in here. In those days, his family did especially good business. But during the 19th century, the Tubon River silted up. The French colonial government built a harbour in nearby Da Nang, while time stood still in Hoi An. The city became a kind of sleeping beauty, and only awoke when the opening up of Vietnam brought an influx of tourists. It's the only old city in Vietnam which has not suffered the devastation of war. The port was founded by merchants from China and Japan. Their residential neighborhoods were linked by this covered bridge. Built 400 years ago, the Japanese bridge is the town's landmark. And it's still in use today. Many inhabitants are descended from the Chinese, Lin for example. But her family is poor. They live by cooking meals in a dilapidated shrine for traders from the nearby market. Lin's mother cooks delicious meals, but the takings only just suffice to pay Lin's school fees. She's 17 and dreams of being a model or actress. In the meantime, though, she has to take the traders their food every day before lessons begin. She's in the final class at high school and wants to study history at college. Time to be off. In her white ao sai, she sets out for school, past the town's historic merchants' houses. The owners demonstrated their wealth in the richly decorated doorways. The merchant houses are hardly 4 meters across, but up to 30 meters deep. There are interior courtyards to provide light and air and protection from the noise and dust of the street. Right at the back of the house, for fire safety reasons, is the kitchen and the rear entrance opening onto the quayside. It was through here that coolies carried in the goods. The carvings and ornamentation are in the Chinese style. The roof, however, is based on Japanese temple design. The heavy tiled roofs are supported by solid beams. There are 5 layers of tiles, insulation against the tropical heat. Floods are frequent, so the goods were stored on the upper floors and lowered by rope through trap doors into the sales room. Mr. Tung's family was once one of the wealthiest in town. They were known throughout Vietnam, importing silk and the finest porcelain from China. Mr. Tung collects artifacts from those days. They're now worth a great deal. The posters on the wall promise original Chinese goods. Mr. Tung also keeps the seals of his ancestors who came to Vietnam from the Chinese province of Fujian and retained their culture here. Lin hopes to study history, and in Mr. Tung's house, history is literally at your fingertips. Red silk for the emperor's mandarins. Mr. Tung still has fabric samples of the last consignments. They were destined for Bao Dai, the last emperor of Vietnam. The family were purveyors to the imperial court until the emperor's abdication in 1945. Mr. Tung also has a diary kept by one of his ancestors. There's an entry describing his arrival. After a long journey and 5 changes of ship, we reached the harbour of Hoi An in the evening. It was noisy, full of goods and people. We found no inn and slept in Hoi Quan. Hoi Quan, that was the name given to the temple-like assembly halls of the Chinese merchants. Business deals were struck here, festivals were celebrated, traditions of the homeland maintained. The finest halls were built by immigrants from the Chinese coastal province of Fujian. In the temple zone, sacrifices are made even today to the ancestors and numerous Chinese deities. In particular, though, to one goddess, the patron of seafarers, Tien Hou. With her somewhat fearsome-looking assistants, one can see 1,000 miles, and the other can hear 1,000 miles. She knows of every junk in distress, and hurries to its aid. From the quay, where silk and porcelain were once traded, ferries now come and go. Those who live in the villages along the river now have to hurry. The old town is no less busy than it was at the fish market at 5 in the morning. As the day draws to a close, Mr. Tung likes sitting amidst the hustle and bustle of the pier. Hoi An means peaceful meeting place. While Vietnam is in a state of upheaval, the charm of Hoi An feeds the attractive illusion that all is right with the world. Once a month, sacrifices are made to those ancestors who did not die in the bosom of their family. For example, shipwreck victims. On this particular evening, the town is illuminated only by lanterns, and the girls of Hoi An arrange candles in honor of the ancestors.